The 26th World Economic Forum on Africa is due to begin in Rwanda's capital, Kigali. Leaders from 10 African countries and over 1,000 delegates from global and regional corporations are expected at the three-day forum. Promoting innovation will be high on the agenda as the theme of this year's event is digital transformation. The continent's economy is expected to grow 5% in 2016 as increased investment offsets lower commodity prices and political instability. Africa is home to 9 of the world's 15 fastest growing economies. Foreign investment in Africa held steady at $54 billion in 2015 compared to a 16% drop worldwide. Now, driving growth in Africa is the middle class, which is set to increase from 355 million people to 1.1 billion in the next 3 decades. Now, TRT World's Alican Ayanlar joins me now from Kigali. Alican.
Well, Sally, here in the Rwandan capital of Kigali, here at the World Economic Forum, I can tell you that one thing that stands out about the city is that it's clean, green, and a very safe city. But it's also a smart city, thanks in part to the efforts of Smart Africa, which is a bold and innovative effort to accelerate the development of socioeconomic projects through the access or better access to broadband, as well as the usage of ICTs, or information and communication technologies. Well, for more insight on this, I'm now joined by Hamadan Toure. He's the Executive Director of Smart Africa. Mr. Toure, I want to start by asking you, Kigali is a shining example for a lot of cities and countries in the region. What can they learn from here?
Well, first of all, Kigali is not only a connected city and one of the best connected cities in Africa, but in the world indeed, because you do have enough infrastructure and services for the population, for the citizens of this city, and for the administration as well. This is all about a vision by the president. President Kagame had this vision in 2013 to make sure that ICT is put in the center of the development of the country. Now, through Smart Africa, we have this vision spread over Africa. Many African countries are following suit in making sure that ICT is in the center of their development agenda.
Now, one of the main themes that we'll be discussing here at the World Economic Forum on Africa is the digital revolution of the continent. How do you think this can play a role in perhaps closing the gap of some of the shortcomings, like an energy gap or the labor market?
Absolutely, and we are very well aware of the fact that information and communication technology will be in the center of every sector of development, be it agriculture, be it education, be it health or government in line. ICT will play a key role in it. And this week in Kigali, we'll brainstorm with the key leaders of the industry in the world and the political leaders to see what are the ways forward in order to make sure that Africa also will meet its obligations for this digital revolution.
Now, a lot of people are talking about us being on the verge of a 4th industrial revolution. All this is good, but this poses a threat to the continent in terms of it could be taking away from a lot of jobs, affecting the employment rate here. Do you think Africa can cope with this?
On the contrary, it will create opportunities for job creation, for skill development, and for better skills development, and for wealth creation on the continent. Information and communication technology will be this next revolution. And why I'm very optimistic about Africa's future by embracing this technology is that the key ingredient for ICT is a human brain. And it's the only natural resource that is equally distributed in the world. No race, culture, or religion has more or less of that. We need to train those brains, though, and that's why through Smart Africa, we're putting a lot of emphasis on capacity building. And we are also saluting the efforts by many industry leaders who are putting a lot of emphasis on capacity building. I believe through that, we'll be able to create jobs, create solutions for Africa, local solutions for local problems. And this is what ICTs will be about. In terms of innovation, we'll have new innovative opportunities for our young people, more educated, and therefore they will have the right opportunity to actually not only find jobs through the web, but also creating jobs for themselves as well.
Mr. Hamadou Toure, thank you very much for that insight. Well, there you have it. We're going to see technology, the digital revolution, and ICTs playing a big role here at the World Economic Forum on Africa as it kicks off on Tuesday.
Sounds very interesting. Alican, thank you very much for that.